What we're going to be discussing today is light. But what I do and have done for the past while here is we'll start off with the Lord's Prayer. And then we have in the Gospel of Peace, Jesus literally was in the scene. And he taught his brethren about the beautiful angels every day, how to wake up. And he taught them the earth's prayer too. And so I'm going to go ahead and give that to you. And then I'm going to tell you, let's see here, we've got it. I want to encourage you, to look at the Aramaic words of Jesus. And I'm going to give everyone the name of this book. It is called The Prayers of the Cosmos. I'll let everyone see it here. And I'm going to read to you the Aramaic translation of the Lord's Prayer. It is a more fuller, more beautiful, more complex. The beauty of it is absolutely amazing. And this is a scholar. It's Dr. Neil Klotz, and I'm going to give you his website. It is abwoon.org. And he is a scholar. He's an American, but he became an unbelievable scholar in Aramaic. And he has opened up all these translations more fully because Jesus spoke in Aramaic. Of course, he spoke in many other different languages, but the Gentiles, he used Aramaic. And so I'm going to have this beautiful Lord's Prayer from the Aramaic version as well as our traditional one. But I wanted to have you see that you can actually buy his book. And this even gives a more fuller rendition of what the different aspects of the Lord's Prayer means in its beautiful complexity. So let me begin here. And we know our traditional Lord's Prayer. If you'd like, you can read along with me. Our Father, who art in the heavens, let thy name be sanctified. May thy kingdom come. Let your will take place, as it is in the heavens, so also upon the earth. Give us today the bread for this day. Forgive our sins, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into the hands of temptation, and deliver us from evil. Amen, 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 and amen. That's a beautiful rendition of the Lord's Prayer. But now I want to show you the more fuller one with its beautiful meanings. O birther, father, mother of the cosmos, you create all that moves in light. Unite our I can to yours, so that we walk as kings and queens with every creature. Grant what we need each day in bread and insight. Forgive our hidden past, the secret shames, as we consistently forgive what others hide. Deceive neither by the outer nor the inner. Free us to walk your path with joy. From you is born all ruling will, the power and life to do. The song that beautifies all from age to age, it renews. Isn't that beautiful? And you see there this aspect, and Jesus will speak of it, of course, and even held Mary Magdalene in high regard, and his mother Mary, but King and Queen of Heaven. You see the Queen of Heaven, Mother of God. So that's the duality, and he always brought that beautiful quality in and treated women with the highest regard on an equal level. So the other one that I always do, because this is our missionaries food, and you'll see it on the tables or the chairs right next to you. There's a table over there. If you don't have one on the chairs, and those, it's Prayer for Paradise on Earth. And this one is the Jill Ray Fellowship. And so let's go ahead and we can say this together if you'd like, because this is our mission as these human beings of light, right? Great God of light, we behold your plan unfolding, whereby all spiritual clouds are dispelled, impurity and error cleansed from the realms of spirit and matter. The age of light and joy is being born. Through your infinite compassion, misguided forces awaken unto truth, and negative practices cease, while forces of light unhindered restore the world to peace. All of nature receives your loving influence and finds its rightful place. Peaceful clouds move across brilliant skies, and the fragrance of countless flowers floats upon the air. Abundant harvests glorify the earth, every corner filled with happy voices. Boundaries between countries vanish, and ancient conflicts disappear as if dreams. All people are united, encircled by your light, and guided by your wisdom. Through service to humanity, all are blessed with health, peace, and prosperity. Great God of light, strengthen us with courage and wisdom to follow your will and realize paradise on earth. And I love it because it says great God of light. So I'm going to go through the PowerPoint, but let's kind of summarize what we'll be talking about today. And also give you, I want to talk a little bit about the grids of light that Robert Gilbert had talked about. But let's talk about this. Many sacred traditions and religions around the world describe light and love as the basis of the origins of creation in the universe. They speak of the radiance of God, seeing the inner light, and seeking enlightenment. Light represents truth, knowledge, goodness, inspiration, guidance, and holiness. The Jewish Torah in the book of Genesis said, "Let there be light." From this light emanated the infinite, limitless light. God's light is the word that called forth creation. The Bible explains in 1 John 1:5 that God is the Father of lights. In James 1:17, we are told, "This is the message we have heard from him, and proclaim to you that God is light, and in him there is no darkness." Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita 5:15-16b, tells us that Atman is the light. The light is covered by darkness. That is why we dream. When the light of Atman drives out the darkness, that light shines forth from us, a sun in splendor, the revealed Brahman. Isn't that beautiful? So all these traditions have this. Some religions and mystery schools have knowledge of ancient sacred practices that their devotees and initiates are given to help them attain an elevated level of awareness, which helps them increase their light. These practices use imagery and concentrated focus, just like a laser beam with your consciousness, to help them open and balance their chakras or wheels of light. These tools can activate their third eye within. And that's what this Robert Gilbert is talking about. And if you go to Gaia and you plug it in, you find him. And he's got this beautiful imagery to show you what the cave of Brahma is. And that opens up, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Actually, I'll probably talk about it before we do this. And that can help develop remote viewing capabilities and telepathy, which I believe are birthrights. We're supposed to have them. It's just that when we dropped in here as these captured frequencies of light, the veils of illusion took hold. So understanding the spiritual as well as the physical properties of light can help us become a living instrument of light or enlightenment. So this is what we're going to be talking about. But I also wanted, as we're going to do this PowerPoint, but I want you to know what some of those practices are. cave of Brahma, if you look at the pineal gland and the encasement of where it sits, okay, it is the third eye, but you're going to see it's also the encasement is exactly the eye of Horus. So I want you to go look up where the third eye, the pineal gland sits, and then you see what it's sitting in. And then when you look at this, it's going to be the exact replica of the eye of Horus the Egyptians are telling us about. So then even on the pyramids, you're going to see they're doing all these initiations and, the Ankh. They're even taking the Ankh. I think I have it here. But it's a big one. And then they're giving it like on the mouth to someone. That's all frequency. You see? So we know that they had this knowledge and they were gifting it mostly the pharaohs, and they had this higher teachings, but the mystery schools also had it. So that's why some of these initiations, they would take you, a teaser, they take you in to darkness, and you may sit in darkness. Think of the king's chamber in the sarcophagus, totally dark. It's got a certain frequency, right? The initiates are literally trained on how to do this light focus and this concentration. They're in darkness for 3 days. And they even do this in South America with some of the pyramids. They go underground, right? What then happens when you're in darkness for that many days and you walk out into the light? The light literally generates, and all this melatonin and all these chemicals start exploding within the initiate, causing the third eye to really be opened on a more molecular level. So there really is a reason to do some of these initiations. And so we know, like melatonin, we know all these chemicals are involved. But the Egyptians are trying to show you with the eye of Horus that it is the third eye within. That's what you're activating. And so some of these, what you can do when you go home and you can do every day, think about this. And they actually, the American Indians have this, and Drunvalo Melchizedek will talk about it. And then you have this Robert Gilbert that spoke of it, and he gave it a little bit more westernized version as to what we can understand. But it's the grids of light, gold, he says it. But what you're doing is you're taking, if you think of an axis, and you take the third eye, and you're opening like a laser to the forward of your third eye, to the back, above, on each side, like a cross, right? And then you'll have the other aspects, the other points coming in this way. And it's all right in that axis of the pineal gland. So what you're doing, and you can even use you're taking Kabbalah, and you can use, the tree of life. But what you're doing is taking that axis, you're taking the focus, you're taking your third eye and extending it. You see, focus it this way right above your ears, so you got the cross. It's activating that cave of Brahma. So you want to do that with your full concentrated power and have that focus. And that's what it will allow that cave of Brahma to open up. Do you see that? And then you're taking the wheels, the chakras, and you're allowing them to open up, the wheels of light. So that gives you more power and more concentrated focus. That's what some of these initiation practices were about. And you can see you can't do it in a weekend. It's a daily practice. And you have to be dedicated to be able to maintain and have that power to be able to do these concentrated exercises. So there's all the legends of these immortal ones that walk. And there was, there's a couple of them, especially in Tibet and China, that walk through. And so they will have that and maintain that kind of focus. So those are the Qigong masters too that walk over the earth. So we have that capability, but then they have dedicated their entire life to that meditative practice. Just the Western world, we're working so much. So the key here is to try to get that meditative focus even while we're doing things. So now let me kind of begin here so that we talk about the light of God. What is this holy light? It's the divine source of goodness. This is what it represents: truth and guidance. The light of God reveals. It is the source of enlightenment, spiritual wisdom, even in all the mystery school teachings, right, and the pyramids, in all of the religions around the world. And it is the source of life on earth. So if you think about it, we need the sun. Without the sun, what would we do? And with all these cataclysms, when the volcanoes and you have the ash clouds, it wreaks havoc. We need the light because the ash clouds come in, and then the plants can't get the light. The plants die. Mankind dies because of food, right? So light is the source. The sun is the source of life on earth too. We emanate light ourselves, and this is this Dr. Fritz-Albert Popp. He did this. He was a biophysicist, and he's done all these experiments, and he can show you that at a very weakened level and molecular level, we are producing micro frequencies of light, and you can see it. And that's not just with Quillian photography. He's showing you that your cells are producing little weak currents of light. Light is holy. It is healing. It is illuminating. Across the traditions, it is revered and venerated. The Bible alone has 200 references to light. Light of God, His presence, Genesis. God said, "Let there be light." And I have to preface this one thing. God said. Said is a frequency. So you do realize that God is that vibration. So that's that frequency emanating forth with that impulse, right? And then the light becomes light. Isaiah 61, arise, shine, for your light is come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you. John 1:5, God is light, and in him there is no darkness. So this is why we want to understand light and become the light. All the religions speak of it. Across the religions, in Hinduism, Lord Vishnu is associated with light. He is the Lord of the universe and is shown as the light of awareness and the sun. In the Rig Veda, he is mentioned as leading the original 7 solar gods. We meditate on the lovely light of God. May it stimulate our thoughts. And here you can see the references to where it's in the hymns, 62, volume 101. So across the religions, you're going to see this holy reference of light. Ra, the Egyptian sun god. Right? The falcon head is a symbol of power in the sky. The sun disk represents his role as the sun god. So you're going to see Akhenaten and in a lot of the glyphs, they're paying allegiance to the sun disk. Yes, but it's the symbolism of what the sun represented. So a lot of the archaeologists will say, well, they were just, praising the sun itself. It's the sun, but what's it's representing. Do you see that? And then they also have the Egyptian god Hu, H-U. And God said, let there be light. He breathes life into existence. Do you see? So that's the vibration again. So you have both sound and light together. And the sun disk god. And those are the pictures, you can see him. And very interestingly, I think all of you know about they had elongated heads, probably meaning he was like a hybrid. So he and Nefertiti and the children, the problem with him is that his daughters didn't live, and then he went against the priesthood. In his time, It's no different than in our times with the dogma, and a lot of the religions may go ahead and take man's control of humanity instead of empowering them. So, the mystery schools really do pay homage to Akhenaten because he was one of the very first that came through to enlighten humanity. He went against the priesthood and was able to establish this beautiful order. That it was only probably 40 years. And then they took hold, the priesthood came back and said, no, we're going to take control again and subjugate humanity. So, but you can see him coming forth and bringing this, and he was the originator, at least in this era, of the mystery schools, by the way. It was him, he started it, and then had his group, and then he continued it. So, he's the first pharaoh to bring the monotheism to the Egyptians, just to let you know that. Now, what I wanted to show you, this is beautiful. The sun is life-giving. It gives us photosynthesis for plants. It's giving us a photosynthesis of the spiritual awakening. So think about that. When we can activate our pineal gland and you have this light that comes upon you, it's alchemizing us. It's spiritualizing us. And the light comes forth from within you. So any teacher that's trying to put their ego up here and saying, I have it all. Just be a little discerning, because the best teachers are going to try to empower their students. So that's the true teacher. And wasn't that what Christ was trying to do for us? He said, these things I do, ye can do these and greater. So that's, at least we got handed that piece down. There's been so many books, suppressed books in the Gospels and the Coptic, that has been hidden from us, that's now being revealed. But that at least got passed through in the Bible, you see? And so remember, that's how you have that discerning eye, that the whole point of this is for us to become empowered. What is light doing is helping our bodies heal. And there is now, about the red light therapies, the blue light therapies, we're starting to realize that. But there's light therapies that are happening today that are helping stimulate us. And there was actually a light instrument that they perfected in the early 1900s. And I actually got the book, there's a website on it. But you can see that they were actually using that to heal people. Because what they were saying is there's just a deficiency in light quotient. And if you restore your body with that light, your immune system repairs, all your illnesses dissipate. And so, of course, what did the FDA do? They jailed the guy that invented the instrument that hit right. So it's like Tesla. So then as soon as they do that, you should be going after it. So what is light? It's symbolic of the light of God. It has its own frequency. Its radiance is needed to sustain life on earth. We need light, what? We need water. Pythagoras, he founded his own mystery school. Now, Pythagoras, you have to realize, he was initiated into the mystery schools. So he studied with them. And then after he studied in the mystery schools, he's a true high mystic. This is not just a mathematician, guys. So Pythagoras studied in Egypt. He got all the higher teachings, and then he went and founded his own mystery school, right? To bring it out of Egypt, into the Western world. And we give him credit as a mathematician, but people need to realize the ancient teachings and where it was coming from. He was not just intellectual. He was not just a mathematician. He was a mystic, high mystic. Mathematics, color, music, and sound were very important to him. And he would have medicinal music, in case you didn't know that. Every day in his mystery schools, he would play healing music at a certain time. And he used 432 for its frequency, right? 7 letters. And he talked about the monochord. And we are the literal, like a monochord is all the frequencies from Earth to the heavens to the planets all the way up. Just saying. frequencies. It's very, you'll see it if I have it in this set with the Rosicrucians knowing. Think of vibration, sound, low, and then it comes up higher, and then it becomes like infrared. You see that? Higher frequencies of light to light itself. So that's the monochord, if you can kind of think of it as frequencies. So he was talking about this. And can you imagine how long ago? But this is what the mystics had. He devised a cosmic monochord. It was based on frequencies. He believed color, like music, was governed by mathematics and mathematic ratios, which contributed to a harmonious universe. And he'll speak of the music of spheres, right? The Pythagorean theorem of music and color. So I'm going to just teach you. Here's the, and I'll say this for the people here, but you can see sacredtext.com is where you can get it. Sacred with the dash texts.com. So you can see all these things I'm going to be giving to you. If you have an inclination, you can delve more deeply into it. So what was his color? And I do have a lambdoma. I don't know if all of you know about my lambdoma here, but it's based on Pythagoras. And we'll have the color and the Lissajous figures, and it can play almost any frequency in ratios of music, which is what he was talking about. Even the Greeks' buildings were crystallized music ratios. Do you see that? That was healing. They were all in mathematic harmonies. Do you see that? So that's where you see math converging with even structure, but with color and light. It's all together. That's where you get sacred geometry. But what was his theory of music, Pythagoras? White, black, red, and yellow are the primary colors, which are associated with fire, water, earth, and air. Fire is red, water is blue or white, earth is black, and air is yellow. So you can see what his colors represented. The mysteries of the lyre. I love this. Plato said that the Egyptians had sacred songs and music. For 10,000 years, they were so exalted that only gods could have composed them. In the mystery schools, the lyre was regarded as the secret symbol of the human constitution. Playing upon the nerves, the spirit created the harmonies of normal functioning. As above, so below. Think of the monochord. So even if you think of your body, think of the 7 chakras, there's more, right, all the way up, but you're utilizing. So that's why he's playing medicinal music. All that sound and frequency are affecting our very nerves, our psychic connections, our emotions. Light is refracted into the colors of the rainbow. Remember the 7 and the 7 sacred tones that were in the Egyptian pyramids? 7 colors of the rainbow. It's always, that's that mystical number of 7. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So even, isn't that beautiful? That's the white light refracted on Earth. That's what makes the rainbow. We know today that man essentially is a being of light. So here, this is where you'll have some of the pictures where you can see the light emanating here. And the modern science of photobiology is presently proving this. In terms of healing, the implications are immense. We now know, for example, that the quanta of light can initiate or arrest, the quanta of light can initiate or arrest and cascade-like reactions in cells, and that the genetic cellular damage can be virtually repaired within hours by faint light beams. Again, look him up. This is this Dr. Fritz-Popp. It's amazing. This is the biophotons. So not only can we heal ourselves with light. We are emanating light. And that's probably what, when you have the healers, when they do the laying on of hands, that's that focused light. That's, I believe, what's happening. If a person is a little bit, they're deficient on some light, that healer is able to gift them with that light, the restoring functionality. You are radiant with light. That's Psalm 76:4. Biophotons, humans are the beings of light. And this is this Dr. Fritz-Albert Popp. He demonstrated that our body cells emit this radiation of light called biophotons. Ultra-weak photons emission is spontaneously emitted from the skin of humans. So you can literally see we are emitting that weak layers of light. This is not something that someone's just saying. We can scientifically prove this now. The mystery school initiations, we talked a little bit on this. This is where they were kept in the dark for days. Generally, I've heard 3. And then would be taken outside to the sunrise, which produced those chemicals, right? That would literally just start circulating throughout the entire body, bringing that pineal gland, breaking, if you would, the calcifications off and allowing more insight and light to come in, not just awareness, right? But physically. And so we're connected, physical and emotional and spiritual. So a lot of times the pineal gland is calcified, especially with fluoride and all the chemicals we have. Even back in those days, I'm sure there's toxins, you see. So that was one of their little tricks to blast the calcification off and literally increase that light and that understanding and the awareness. Fun fact, the great Creighton said this, that in the king's sarcophagus, that there was some white powder. So when the archaeologists looked at that, they didn't know what it was. They scooped it up and they filed it away. So what they think, they have now, the researchers have come back now, and they believe there was calcification that was on the pineal glands. So that's interesting that it would just blast, right? When the light came, it would just blast the calcification off your pineal gland, and you would see and truly be enlightened. I thought was fascinating. So this is what I wanted you to see. I kind of spoke about it, so now you can kind of see the pictures of it. The pineal gland is the spiritual third eye, an odyssey of antiquity to modern chronomedicine. The pineal gland, or spiritual third eye, is regarded as the gateway of spiritual life, as per ancient concepts about the soul. Recently, modern neuroscience has proven that the pineal gland is not just the melatonin secreting neuroendocrine organ, which controls the circadian rhythm, but it also has a mystical and energetic association with spirituality. It acts as a tremendous coordinator between molecular, hormonal, and physiological chemical rhythmic orchestras within your body. So it's not just affecting the physical. The physical is affecting way more because we're intimately connected. You can't just treat a human being as isolated things because we're one and we're affected by all of it. So science now and in spirituality, you see, is starting to merge. You're seeing it. Now, this is what I'm going to show you. This is the third eye. And you see what it's encased in? Look at that. It's the eye of Horus. It was right there, really obvious. You see that? So this is the gland that it's encased in. Can you see that, even with the teardrop? The eye of Horus. We're telling you that's where it was. So now, this was just a beautiful picture to show you where that cave of Brahma is. So this is the Christ, which you can see the third eye is here. Remember I was telling you about the light beams this way and crossways. And so that's what you're doing to activate with your consciousness to extend those beams. Do you see? You want to decalcify the pineal gland and you want to extend that light so that it's an extension of you. And then, of course, that's how they can do all remote viewing. See? And those Tibetan masters can do this. You've heard of the immortal ones. They can do this. Christ was able to do this. You know that he appears to the disciples right after the crucifixion. You see, he's able to remote view and to project their body, his body. They can do that, not only just in your dreams, but they can do it in, by creating a mist and having it consolidate and project themselves. That's what we should all be capable of doing. Now, this is what I wanted to show you, the connection. In the Rosicrucians, and everyone here knows I've been a Rosicrucian. I don't even want to tell you how many decades. Let's just say I started when I was 18 years old. I was the youngest you could become a Rosicrucian. I became a Rosicrucian at 18. So you can imagine how many decades that is. So what they have here, which I wanted to show you the correlation between Pythagoras, remember he established his own mystery school. So the Rosicrucians, the ancient mystical order, the Rosy Cross. So this is their monochord, basically. But what they've done is map it out scientifically and give you every single frequency all the way up. Isn't that exactly what Pythagoras is talking about? But only he's talking about it not just from Earth, but all the way into the heavens. It's the same, as above, so below. So science is now coming in and validating all the mystics. So you're going to start to see, and they've done this all scientifically. So what you're doing, and also kind of showing you, light can come down like in a lightning bolt. And even in Kabbalah, they talk about that, right? This lightning bolt of God coming down to create the Sephirah. Remember the rainbow is white light, and then you refract it into the seven, right? That creates the rainbow. So you can think of light with Kabbalah, if it's refracting it and separating it, making it individual. So then now it's like concretized. Light coming down scientifically now, and I want you to see this, comes down into matter. Gamma and the cosmic rays first, then X-rays, ultraviolet, visible light, heat or infrared, electromagnetic radio waves, sound, and then touch. So that's, the light of God can come down, creating all this. But I think our own consciousness, it comes down, we're captured frequencies. We come down that tunnel, because that's exactly what was happening on a near death. And you'll hear the people speaking of this near death. Right? You're coming down that tube. Well, that tube, I believe, is all these layers. And that's the concretized light. But we're light beings. What would we do without our techno guy? Clark, thank you. Okay. But, we're concretized light. And that's how we're doing it. And that's that tunnel that all the near-death people are speaking of, right? They're coming out so fast. Well, that's what that is. And then we get captured in our little beings of bodies here, right? But we're going to go back, guys, and that's going to be the way back out. Now, this is the one, and I got his book, but you can go and basically get it online. So if you want to take a picture, I'm going to spell it out for the people here. Darius Dinshaw. So it's Dinshah. And so this was that spectrochrome I was speaking about. What did they do? They put him in jail. But let's go through here because I want you to see you can get his information. He's the originator of spectrochrome. It uses filters of different light colors for healing the body. He also calculates the equivalent sound frequency for each color. So with spectrochrome red, he's going to give you all the digits, right? So what he's done, he's taken what Pythagoras did and has given you the scientific equation in the Hertz frequencies. Do you see that? Isn't that beautiful? So to arrive at a frequency is in the audible range, you divide the basic figure by 2, 40 times. So he's dividing it. And guys, that's what the lambdoma does. It's based on Pythagoras. Now you see what the connection is. That lambdoma that I have can take a frequency and you either multiply it, or you can divide it. That's what he's doing. That's how you're getting to the 40th octave of red is the Hertz frequency now, because it's sound, 397.27. That's how he's arriving at. That's mathematics, right? So I have the book, and I ordered it, but you're going to see the book itself. What it does is just give you maybe the illness and what colors of light you should be exposed to heal. It's sort of like Rife. So Rife he worked with light, right? We saw what they did to him. Well, it kind of did the same thing to Darius. So he was doing this and he was helping heal people. And there were even medical doctors that were utilizing this. And when it started healing people, guess what? Then they put him in jail, practicing medicine without a license. But what you can do, he gifted this with, for us. You can go, you can look him up, you can buy his book, you can get the, whatever frequencies, and there's blendings of colors that you need to use. And actually what I did is I bought, if you're going to buy one of those infrared tools, get one that has all the different colors. You don't just have to get an infrared light. You can get one that has the green, that has the blue, you see the violet? And so today we don't have to get what he had because they've kind of dismantled him, but we have technology today that we can grab hold of and buy and help ourselves and heal ourselves now. So just take a look at it and you can see which colors he devised with mathematical precision about what would help with which ailments there. So this is that color therapy he's basically talking about. Each color can be used to help stimulate or calm the body down. And we know that it can be used with light filters or with colored glass. So you could actually, if you wanted, get like and I've seen them before, but you can get like a box with light, and then you can put like the filters on top of it so that the entire room looks pink or red or blue. Do you see that? And you're bathing in that color therapy. So you can do that, and with water. So, you can get like the blue bottles, glass bottles that are nice ones, or green. Those are the calming colors, or the red and orange, the ones that stimulate, you see? So you can actually even utilize Dr. Emoto's work with this light and color, right? And consciousness. So we can blend them all, put them together. Using light, consciousness, thought, that's what we're supposed to be doing. So the light frequencies, I kind of showed you that monochord with the Rosicrucians, and they had that. But just to kind of give you an idea of what this is, these are the frequencies, the amplitude. This is a lot of science, but that's where you're going to get all the little rays here. Gamma ray, X-ray, ultraviolet, visible, infrared, microwave, and radio. So if you know the mathematics, that's what Dinshaw was doing. He knew how to lower it and increase it, but you can put it down into an audio version to hear it, right? Or with color, the different colors have the different frequencies. Activating our wheels of light, and I mentioned him already. So this is Dr. Robert Gilbert. He's now in heaven, but he did some wonderful specials on Gaia. He has the Visca Institute. He's well worth you looking into. The guy's amazing. He studied Rosicrucianism, but he studied another form than the one I did, but it's all beautiful. But how do we activate it? That's what he was teaching us in his own way. The mystery schools taught everyone. We have the eye of Horus, the Pineal, and we know, the 3 days of darkness coming out to the light. He's given the Western world with he calls it gold, grids of light. And I showed you how you can extend the pineal gland and the Brahma. So that's the Kabbalion tree of life. And what you're doing is you're taking all the wheels of light and activating them. And then you can have the sephra on top of the body. So that then now you're creating the light kind of coming up into the crown. And you're activating each chakra point with on top of it's the tree of life, the Kabbalion tree of life. So you can just kind of layer the Kabbalion tree of life with all the wheels, the sephra, right on top of your body. And you know exactly what you're doing as you concentrate on this. So that's how you can increase the threshold and your light quotient. And the obstacles, we're moving the wheels of light, we're increasing that so that we can think better, more purely, more refined. Sound and light vibration. So this is the light grid. This is that Kabbalah tree of light. The crown, the left brain, left shoulder. You can start seeing how you can layer that and just use that. Like Drunvalo would say, you're creating your Merkaba. You're making your entire being a wheel of light. And you can see all the beautiful qualities that light, you can start seeing the beautiful frequencies on what they look like. And that would be a lecture on sound that I can do. Healing power of light in medicine. How are we utilizing this today? Laser devices and LED lights. We're using that now, right? Red light therapy. And you can get these devices, and just if you go to do it, get the ones that offer blue light, red light, green light. You see, so when you're looking at that, if you want to take and utilize it as a healing tool, you might as well do all of it like Darius. Do you see that? And we know, everyone knows I'm a mental health counselor, but what's sad, seasonal affective disorder? A lot of people get more depressed in the winter because the sun isn't as bright. And it even happens in Florida, guys. You'll see it. So it's especially prevalent up north because you're inside all the time, it's cloudy. And so, but it'll even happen to people here in Florida. You'll see the difference. You can feel the energy of the sun, whether it's upon us or a little bit away, right? So we know that light affects us emotionally, and we need it. It affects the circadian rhythms. So, I want to talk a little bit now. That was kind of like the intellectual rundown on what light is. And I thought we could do just a beautiful little meditation and maybe try to do some of this cave of Brahma. See? So where we can have the cave of Brahma and activate the grids of light there. I don't know, Jewel, did you bring your sound bowl? Okay. Clark, could we bring her a sound bowl? Jewel is wonderful with the sound bowls. We happen to have our own here. And what I wanted you to see, because I want it to be experiential, not just intellectual, but we have to understand the importance of light and sound, mathematics, and how they all correlate together. And we want to activate our own talents and our own awareness. So some of this, I'm going to encourage everyone, we want to work at decalcifying the pineal gland, because with all the chemicals today that we've been exposed to. We were talking about the EMF waves. So we want to clean up our diet, and even Christ talked to his esteemed brethren back 2,000 years ago. He said, drink pure water, eat pure food. Right? Yes, that's our problem. Our today, probably more so, although you can't imagine these pre-Andaluvian civilizations. We can go back to Atlantis, we can go back to Lemuria, we can go back before that, maybe even more billions of years older. So there's more civilizations than that. How many times has first bunch of cataclysms, and it's been other eras on this planet. So part of this, to the best that we can, and Jesus even promoted being a vegetarian, but he would even instruct his brethren in the gospel of peace, which I would encourage you guys to actually look at. I love the gospel of peace. He's telling everyone to wake up with a beautiful angel and set your intention and put it that way, so that your intention then follows you throughout the day to bring these angels in. But to eat pure food, to try to bring in pure water, and at least today we have some good filter devices, right? And there's many things that we can do with water, and I would ask that you do even like a Dr. Emoto. And the mystery schools know to do this, but what do you think prayer is? It's consciousness. You bless your food, you can bless your water. That's the holy waters. A lot of the stuff is hidden in the religions, right? What do you think holy water is, and what do Catholics do, right? They're blessing everyone with the holy water. Well, yes, Dr. Emoto already showed you why it works as healing. So we can do that. So when we're going to be doing this, we want to at least have the biology of our bodies as pure as we can get, and then coming in with the grids of light. So that's why I wanted you to kind of see this, and we'll just do just a brief little meditation. And my beautiful Jewel, our song bowl priestess, can you start the song bowls? Mm-hmm.
But it floated because of the light, but it gets in the sarcophagus, no quick light enter.
So because those mystics were trained, and physically, if you have your consciousness expanded to that level, it's almost just disintegrating the calcium crystals. You see? So the explosion is your light consciousness within. And they say that Christ is the one who did that had the crack in the sarcophagus. And then they're also talking about this monoatomic gold, and that you'll see it in those glyphs that they're giving, you're administering this. And then I have another presentation where I got all the hieroglyphs up there, but you're seeing them with the Ankh, but they're delivering something, right, to their initiates. And there's all this talk that this is this monoatomic gold. And that's what also allowed them to live and rejuvenate their bodies. And they were able to make this. So that was probably implicated in that. Maybe they ingested it, it allowed. So, of course, we don't know all of it, but we're starting to get these just little breadcrumbs. I'm really going, So that's very interesting, yes. It's
Well, actually, but you don't have to raise a file before, and then look at the eye for like 10 seconds, 15 seconds.
it's sun gazing.
Yes. But then have a technique. Do it. That's me to do.
So what Jewel is saying, and she's our Hindu goddess, is what you want to do, and you've heard a lot about this, about the sun gazing, right? So what she's saying, right before sunset, right?
Half hour.
Half hour
After.
or after. 30 minutes, either a half hour before or a half hour later.
After the pregnancy and the light is too strong, so good with your eye.
Right.
Try.
Because you don't want to damage your eye. So she's saying right before, a half hour before, or after. But what you want to do is she's saying put your hands like this over your eye to the right and then to the left, which kind of protects it a little bit.
And yeah, switch
And switch. Between 30 seconds, 40 seconds break.
And to see the light.
Close your eyes and you see the light coming into the third eye. And remember that picture I had of Christ, right? So this is what you're trying to do. Right here.
Yeah.
You see? That's what she's saying. You see, you want a picture, that's the third eye, the light coming in there. But that's the grids of light. So the grids of light, you're extending it upward throughout your entire spinal cord, all the way down to the ground, right? So it's almost, you think the cross has been considered holy way before Christ, right? So that's one of the reasons, because it's the physical body too, what it represents. So, but what you're doing with this grid of light, you're activating, you see, she's saying, look, you can do the sun gazing, but you're having the sun. What you want to do.
Try simple. 10 seconds or 15 second look. That one eye, the other one is closed. So you look at, and then you close it after 10 seconds. You have a memory still in your brain. Bring that memory neither in your eyebrow, like a third eye.
Like a third eye.
So then it's disappeared, you use the other because you have to have balance.
Right, left brain, right eye.
Close, and you hold that in memory, but you directed that. So that's how eventually you can do it anytime, anywhere.
Practice.
And then you just see, just your brain start lighting up. Every little atom in your brain is just light up.
Becomes light, because it's activating light. So what she's saying, I'm just going to repeat it. So what she's saying is you're going to gaze for 10 seconds, right eye, left eye. But what you're then doing is see between them.
So 10 seconds, you look in both eyes. Close both eyes.
Close both eyes after you've seen for 10 seconds.
Because you're going to see.
You're going to remember the light that you just saw in the one eye.
Disappear, that's when you switch to the other eye. You look at again, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, you close, and you hold that light again. How long is less? Then again. You can go for like a beginning, don't overdo it.
Just a little bit at a time.
Just a little bit at a time.
So what she's giving you is the Hindu version of how to activate your third. And what she's saying is you're looking at the right eye, and then you're holding, after 10 seconds, you're holding the image, and you're putting it in your third eye. When you no longer can hold the image, then you do the left eye. And you go back and forth. Do you see that? So that's what she's trying to say is one of their techniques and exercises on how to activate this third eye.
Of course.
Yes. Now, if you can begin with this beautiful sound.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. When you make the lines, you're starting the line from your third eye and going out that way, your third eye. But do you start here? When you go out that way, you come back through the third eye to the left.
What he's saying, at least, and you can find this, you'll find his entire version of this Robert Gilbert on Gaia. Just look for it. You'll see, put his name in, you're going to find it. What he's saying, and that's what we kind of do, is when you're there, that what you're doing is you're taking your entire body and you're taking it even from your center, but you're extending the light from your center all the way down into the ground, all the way up. So you have a light beam, literally, that's extending from heaven all the way down you, hitting all your chakras all the way down into earth. And then, if you do your arms, you see the heart, you can literally take it, and that's this cross here. But he's talking also then, you're having here, up here, because there's so many chakras that you can do this. And remember, with your heart chakra, on all your chakras, there's a forward one and then one behind you. It's not just forward. So what you're doing is think of all of your chakras opening both the front and the back, but then you've got this entire light beam that's you're activated with all your chakras that's going all the way up, and it'll go through the pineal gland all the way down you to the ground. And you're going to have it here with your heart, but then now the pineal gland is what you're going to be doing this with. Do you see? So there's so many aspects to this. It's which one do you want to choose to do? But that's what I'm saying. You want to clean up your diet and, be in good health too, to be able to do this. But let's go ahead, just do a little bit so we can start beaming up these beams of light. And we're just going to start it just a little bit here, because afterwards we're going to have the ringing cedars. All right, so I want us to just kind of close our eyes, listen to this beautiful element, sacred sound. And we all know the beauty of sound. And God said, let there be light. Breathing in, breathing out. Connecting all your chakras with this beautiful pillar of light. All the wheels of light begin to turn. Allow the lower chakras to turn. Connecting with Mother Earth. Your sacrum. Coming all the way up. Now let's go all the way into the heart. Feel the love. Love is what activates the heart. The heart actually has more impulses feeding you than the brain. Lord of beautiful love. Love that passes all understanding. Love for the universe. Love for your family. Love for the planets. Our planet. Our children, humanity. Our loved ones from the past and the present. Beautiful. Take this beautiful energy connecting with the divine itself, Father, Mother, God. And now with the love of all creation activating your heart chakra, your throat chakra, wheels of light turn. Now coming up with the pineal gland and even the crown chakra. And on these wheels of light, extend them so they become a pillar of light together, connected. Take this pillar of light and connect it all the way up to the heavens, like the monochord we spoke about. All the way up to the highest heights. Connecting you on earth fully incorporating all your chakra points. It's a divine source. Now we increase the light on each chakra. And what we're going to do today is we're going to begin to increase the pineal gland. That center point between the right and the left. It's right inside the midbrain. Closing your eyes, that center point. When you close your eyes, if you see images, concentrate all of your focus on that pineal gland that's housed in the eye Horus. And extend that light forward, backward. I want you to imagine, if you will, the light right above your ears, thinking from really your brow, and take that energy and extend it out to the right. Extending that light out to the right, above your ear, out into infinity. And now the left, right above the left, from your left brow out to infinity. So you have the pillar of light from the divine source coming through all of you down to the chakra points, down into the ground. And now you have this beam of white light coming above both ears, through your brow, outward into infinity. That's the cross. Extend your consciousness. Extend and feel. There are no limits. Fuel it with love. Come down now into the pineal gland itself. I want you to give it love. Center your consciousness, your love, on your pineal gland. And with consciousness, like Dr. Emoto said, we can regenerate, like you can regenerate the waters and purify them. We can regenerate our pineal gland. You can see the calcification dissolve. And now the light comes forth. Small at first, but it intensifies. Reaching out, extending out. You are a being of light. You are made for this. This is your birthright. We activate now from the light on high to the light within. We connect all that is. Opening your third eye, activating, regenerating, renewing that pineal gland. That is ours. That is our birthright. See it, know it, do it. And God said, let there be light. And we say, our pineal gland is rejuvenating, purifying, extending, and activating now. We will see not just with our ordinary eyes, but with our third eye now, our spiritual eye. Allow the sound, hear the sound, the frequencies of the sound to come into the pineal gland and rejuvenate it, penetrating it, focus, heal, rejuvenate, and light. We are the light. Jesus said it. We activate the light within us. We activate our pineal gland. And we extend our consciousness to infinity beyond. Be there now. Breathe it in. Know this is yours. And each day you will practice this. Each day your light will become stronger. Each day your radiance more brilliant. And each day your gifts ignite. So may you walk in love, walk in light, breathe in love, breathe in light. You are the light of God. God is within you and all. And together we can beam this light out into the world, out into all humanity, the plants, the oceans, and even into the multiverse. Your love heals. Your love regenerates all. So my wonderful dear light babes, may you radiate this beautiful joy with each breath that you take, with each step that you walk, from now to eternity. Beautiful. You are light. You are love. And it is done. Let's just take a few moments. You remember all that you did. You will practice your beautiful exercise, extending your loving light with absolute intention. Beautiful. And when you feel called, you may open your eyes. And we would love to thank our beautiful sound bowl sister, Hindu goddess, and Clark, our techno man. We need you all. And each one of you that attended this beautiful service here in person and on Zoom and on Facebook Live. So we are here, and I will tell you, we have many things happening. We did a beautiful initiation of Mary Magdalene yesterday. We have a lot of events here at the center. And if you want to go to CCOSL and the calendar of events, we have all kinds of things we are doing here. And I would ask that for those of you online, you can go to ccosl.org.com, if it's .com, and go to donate, because we're trying to keep our rent and our lights on. And if you could love to, if you could make a donation, we appreciate it. For those of you who are here, we have a basket. We also do Venmo, and we appreciate all of our monthly contributors too. So thank you for our patrons for that. And right after, at 12:30, we're going to have the ringing cedars. I wanted to tell you what that is, but there's a beautiful living goddess, an avatar of light, that is in the Siberian forest. And she's living in our time and is bringing forth unbelievable knowledge. And there's books, there's 10 of them written, and we're doing a monthly book club. And this is teachings from another age, before the Druids, before the Lemurians, of a civilization called Vendris. And Vendris as they sang into existence. They knew the power of vibration and song, and they could sing into existence and create with love and harmony. It's absolutely beautiful. And she's restructuring all the dogmas of the religions, where you can commune with the birds. You can have a heart rate that heals remotely, exactly like the Tibetan masters do, right? Remote view. You can come in and you literally establish purity of thought and love with unbelievable capabilities. So we're talking about the pineal gland. That's what she's doing. But this came from a civilization called Venus. And she's one of the few left. And she's trying to get this out. And she was able to get it out in book form way before all this technology took hold. So we at least have the books. And it was established before the shift of the ages came in. She was ahead of the game so that we can have those teachings and be prepared. So anyway, at 12:30, we'll have the Ringing Cedars group, and we'll be here in case you would like that. You can also join it online. If you can't make it in person, you can go to the calendar of events, and there's a special Talkify link. So any of you would like to come, you can join it that way if you can't make it in person. So we're going to sign off now for the Cosmic Center's church service or center's service. Thank you for being here, our beautiful beings of light. And hopefully you will continue the sun gazing, the concentration, the pineal gland activating exercises. And I'll get to see you. I'll be here next month with the Landoma. And Sharon Elizabeth can do the divine healing service. So we'll see you soon, and hopefully check out the calendar of events. And I'll see all of you soon.